This is a video explanation of the Doryphoros and the Kouroi tradition essay. This is a major writing assignment that's worth 20% of your grade. The question for this essay is as follows. Is Polykleitos' Doryphoros a Kouroi statue? Write a short essay in which you make an argument about how Polykleitos references the stylistic and intellectual traditions of Kouroi sculptures while simultaneously offering innovative solutions that express the ideals of the high classical period. Your response should compare Doryphoros with the Anavisos Kouros. To complete this assignment, there are several resources available to you within the course and scaffolding assignments. So I recommend that you start by contributing to the discussion that compares archaic and classical heroic nude sculptures. You should also complete the readings and then visual analysis of the two objects that are in the essay, and then submit a rough copy. I'll give you feedback on the rough copy, and then you can revise for the final copy. So the discussion is one in which you're going to compare 4 different examples of heroic nude sculptures. So this is just a screenshot of that discussion and the different things that you can consider within it. And then within the discussion, I have started 4 threads, one for each of these 4 sculptures. And as a class, we will be building visual analysis of each of these 4 sculptures with the goal that you'll be able to write a strong essay about the 2 that are discussed within the question. So that's the Anavisos Kouros here versus Doryphoros right here. In order to complete that discussion, you will have to do the readings that are linked within the assignment and in the module. And as you're preparing to write, here are some things that you'll want to think about. What are the goals of the archaic Kouroi? What earlier stylistic strategies does it integrate? What is its function? Similarly, what were the goals of the artist Polykleitos in producing Doryphoros? So how does he reference the archaic Kouroi tradition? But then also, what does he change? Does he use the same canon of proportions? Now that you've completed the discussion and the readings, you're ready to write your rough draft. Your rough draft should have a thesis that is explicit about the major stylistic strategies of each sculpture and describe the ways in which the sculptor Polykleitos incorporates and rejects elements of the archaic tradition. The organization of this essay should follow the breakdown of paragraphs that I link within the assignment itself. You can find all of that within Canvas. Additionally, your stylistic analysis should be incorporating key terms from the readings to describe the artwork. You want to be very specific about how these sculptures relate to earlier artistic traditions, and I'm looking for sentences that closely describe the appearance of the sculptures using descriptive language. The length of your rough draft is 450 to 500 words. Once you submit your rough draft, I will give you a lot of feedback on it. That grade counts towards your participation grade. My goal is to help you know exactly what to do to this paper in order to earn the grade that you are aiming for on the final draft. And so I encourage you to follow this revision feedback so that you can get a higher grade. For your final copy, please do take my feedback to heart. It might need significant revision from your rough copy. I also need you to submit it on time. Late papers lose 5 points per day, and I will not accept papers that are more than 3 days late. In terms of grading, an A paper is going to have a thesis that incorporates explicit stylistic and contextual analysis. It might be 2 sentences because there's a lot of information to incorporate into this thesis. In terms of stylistic analysis, I'm looking for key terms, but also very explicit descriptions of the sculpture that demonstrate your close looking and consideration of how these visual choices relate to the prompt. Your organization should follow the guidelines that I describe within the instructions in the assignment. I'm always looking for topic sentences that make an argument rather than summarize facts. And then finally, your presentation. Your paper should have minimal or no grammatical or spelling errors. An A will exhibit eloquence. It also needs to adhere to the word count. In terms of eloquence, something that I find students often struggle with is writing in the active voice. So passive voice is when you take a strong verb, like here, to stand, and modify it with to be. So here, a passive construction is Doryphoros is standing in contrapposto. To make that active, you take out that to be modification and you simply write Doryphoros stands in contrapposto. If you are struggling, please just reach out to me, schedule a phone call or a Zoom, send me an outline, send me a thesis idea, send me a sample paragraph. I'm more than happy to work with you so that you can earn the grade that you're aiming for on this major writing assignment.